Hey, how's it going, guys? Back at you again with another haircut tutorial. Here we have a low skin taper. Starting off with my gold trimmers, with my zero line, using a slight arch. I like to make my blends have a little burst effect with every single one. There you can see I'm following the natural hair pattern there. His hair grows light in that exact same shape, so I just go ahead and I follow that same one. My next step is I open up the clipper all the way, and then I set my next guideline, following with the same shape as my zero guideline. Now in the back, I go in the opposite shape. The reason why I do that is to keep the edges on the outside dark when I edge it up, and two, I like to follow the shape of the head. Since his head isn't very flat in the back, I want to complement that head shape. I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the video. Here I'm using a number 2 guard closed, and I'm going up and out to follow the shape of the fro. I'm not going inwards. I don't want to follow the shape of the head. I want to go outwards. Here I'm angling the clipper outwards and sort of freehand shaping. See, just making sure it's closed. Now my next step, I go ahead and I grab my number 1 guard and I open up the clipper to meet up with my number 2 closed. I don't go above or past the area that I use my number 2 guard closed because I don't want to create a new line and I don't want to push my fade any higher than I want to. Then I gradually close the clipper. You can see the blend already starting to come in together. Then here, I use my half guard open and I meet up with my number 1 closed. Picking up where I left off and then gradually closing the clipper. Further removing that clipper open line. Repeating the same process all over again on the next side. Because remember, if you use the same formula, you get the same results. Again, using my number 1 open to meet up with my number 2 closed. Then grabbing my half guard, meeting up with my number 1 closed. And then all over again. If you guys want to refresh yourselves, go back to the beginning, watch it all over, and then come right back to this point. You see I'm blending in sort of a U shape in the back of his head to complement the head shape. That, and I also like to connect both of my blends from the back to the sides to sort of give it a little bit more style, a little bit more cohesiveness, and to also preserve the life of the hairline as well. Because sometimes when you have really bushy hair around the ears and you do the edge up, he can go home and shampoo and then that edge up isn't as sharp anymore. So I like to connect the blends a little bit in order to save the life of that hairline. Here I'm using a cordless Andis Masters with a surgical blade, removing that clipper open guideline, starting open and then gradually closing the clipper, using the corner of my blade to get rid of any dark spots and get that detail. Here I'm using a pre-wipe edge up solution. Pick it up at ogwalker.com. I love this product. I use it on every single haircut. Soaks up any oil, gets rid of any excess oil, dirt, and debris. Leaves you for a nice canvas to hit your edges on. When I start in the back, always start at the bottom, come down on the line, and drag outwards. Now you see that edge up? That's the reason why I connect the two blends a little bit. So when he goes home, showers, restyles his hair, that edge up is still gonna be there. Now here, I don't know if you noticed, but I made a little guideline at the top of that arch there, and then I started at the bottom. You see I did it again here. That just makes my life a lot easier when I'm creating that arch. There's no reworking to figure out how deep or narrow or shallow I want my arch. I make one guideline at the very top at the corner, and then I start at the bottom, decide how wide or skinny I want my sideburn area to be, and then I just go ahead and swoop right into the top. There, I'm checking for overhang, seeing where the hair starts to grow the thickest, and then brushing it back down and hitting the clipper right there, right where I need it. As you can see, right in the middle of his hairline, there's basically no hair. I have to bring down some hair in order for me to create the illusion of a full hairline. Quick little cleanup on the beard. My style for doing beards is actually, I don't like to create too sharp of a beard. I like more of a rugged, natural look. And then of course, with every single haircut that you do, you want to do your detail work. You want to refine it. Once you put a hard edge up, it sort of exposes any areas that are inconsistent in the blend. So it allows you to go back and go over your work and make everything perfect. It's all in the details. This is the difference between a good haircut and a great haircut. That extra mile that you take for your clients. I know you see it. And because of that shallowness in his hairline right there in the middle, I use a little bit of an enhancement. I use a Kiss Express, either darkest brown, 2 parts alcohol, 1 part color. And there you have it, low skin taper. Shout out to my boy Trayvon for allowing me to record that. Let me know what you guys think. What other haircuts you want me to do down in the comments below. Go ahead and like and subscribe and share. Thank you guys for watching. I'm here. So yeah, just got done doing another tutorial. It was a low skin taper on my boy Trayvon. Shout out to Trayvon for letting me record that. Appreciate you very much. So yeah, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what went on during that haircut. So one of the things that I'm always paying attention to when it comes to doing any sort of haircut is the density that that particular client has for me to work with. So a lot of the time, what will happen is that when they have low density, I'll make the spaces in between each one of my guidelines a little bit smaller, and exactly the opposite for clients who have high density. Why do I do this? Say for instance, we have 2 clients, one with low density, one with high density. I can pass the same number 1 guard on both of these clients, and the level of darkness between the 2 will look completely different. So with that being said, I'm going to make my steps on a low density client a little bit smaller than I would do on a high density client. Because they have more hair to work with, I can create more transition for their hair, and I can actually push and go a little bit more aggressive with their haircut. Versus a client with low density hair, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more ginger with it because I don't have a lot of hair to work with. So every little follicle counts. Another thing that I always look out for is the shape of the head. You want to base your haircut to complement the shape of someone's head. So for example, you have a client who doesn't have a very prominent occipital bone, that little curvature in the back of the bottom of the head. You might want to stay away from any sort of fades that would be deemed low or drop fades, right? Because all you're going to be doing is you would be shaping your fade to a surface that isn't desirable for that specific head type, right? So when you have a client who does have that prominent occipital bone, who does have that nice curvature in the back of the head, that nice shape, you can then complement that head shape by doing a drop fade. It's all about picking the right haircut for the right client. I can't tell you how many times I've had a client come into my chair requesting a specific haircut and their hair was completely on the other side of that spectrum. So believe you me, I know the struggle. But you always want to be a professional and recommend to your client that, listen, not every haircut works for every hair texture, hair type, or head shape. So take control of the situation, go with your gut instinct, make the recommendation, and your clients will definitely appreciate and trust you more for that. So there you have it, just a little tidbit for you guys for this haircut tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. And yeah, be on the lookout. I got more content coming your way. So go ahead and like and subscribe and share to your friends. Again, if you know anybody that's interested in barbering and wants to become a barber, send them to my page and then we can make it pop for them, all right? Take it easy.